into it, was Vegas a good race?
Yeah, it was all right.
Okay,
That's my
cool. All
whole answer.
right. Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt the same way. I mean, we've seen it with HMO with Homestead. This race reminded me of Homestead last year. Homestead, I didn't think was a bad race last
No.
year. It's just when HMS just has a stranglehold on these mile and a halfs right now. We saw Trackhouse at the beginning of last year really be the ones who, kind of were above and beyond the rest of the field. And I think Hendricks kind of caught up with that. Um, William Byron led 100 and however many laps
Yeah.
today, 170 plus.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson led basically the other ones, and then Alex Bowman, was third the entire day. It seemed like once he got there. So, I, yeah, I mean, it was going to be hard to beat them, but if you really look at the racing behind them, it was good. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, guys were going after. We saw a lot of comers and goers, guys, passing each other back, a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing. It's just when we had 3 really dominant HMS cars that kind of stunk up the show.
Yeah, and there probably would have been a fourth if a certain guy hadn't broken his leg. So
I don't think, see, that's the thing. I was thinking about that too, is I don't think you can entirely put, I mean, Josh Berry finished 29th, did not have a good day. He hit the wall at one point. But I don't think you could really put that all entirely on Josh, because if you look at Chase Elliott's stats at Vegas, Vegas is one of, if not Chase's worst track. Chase just never seemed, I mean, remember last year in the fall at
yeah,
Vegas, they were nowhere
that's
compared
true.
to everybody else.
But the rest of the team wasn't this strong either. Now, yeah, you're probably right. Chase might not have been up there. It is definitely not one of
Well, I
his
mean,
best
if you
years.
look at it last year, Chase wasn't in that final restart shot, but the first 3 in that final
I don't put
restart,
I don't put
it
much
was
stock in
Alex
it.
Bowman, Kyle Larson, and William Byron. Well, I mean, what the fuck are you going to put stock in, Seth? I
Not
mean,
much.
I
You know how
mean,
much has changed since last year?
yeah. All I'm saying is the 9 team's never been strong at Vegas. They always,
Fair.
um, I think Chase probably would have put the car back half of the top 10, maybe, probably in that 12th to 15th range. It was extremely competitive all day from basically 8th to 15th. It was, you could flip a coin and any one of those guys could end up,
Yeah.
at the top of the heap. Um, so I don't entirely put that on just Josh. Obviously, he's an experience in the next gen car, but yeah, I kind of, yeah, I mean, it made sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is as far as that goes. And then whoever got out front, as far as the Hendrick cars go, Clint Boyer said
Yeah,
it during the race. It was gonna whoever got out front was probably gonna win the race, and sure
yeah.
enough, it was looking like that. And then obviously it changed, but that's what it was gonna be.
Yeah, I think also I saw a lot of people complaining about dirty air. Yeah, but that's also going to happen when the track temp is cooler. Because I mean, what? Go ahead.
That and also you could still see, like, yeah, the biggest example of like dirty air that I saw was when Larson went like low to high entering the corner to try and get under Denny Hamlin and caught the wake. If he got up, that happened because he crossed the wake. If you get up
Yeah,
just a lane up, you really didn't have that problem.
yeah, I noticed that a lot too. And Vegas is a unique track in a sense that you can actually, as the car in front, you can maneuver from the top of the track to the bottom of the track mid corner without, costing yourself, and you can kind of dump that air onto the guy behind you. I noticed it with Bowman when he was trying to get by, I think actually the 11, or maybe it was Kyle. He The same thing happened that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You could dump dirty air onto the guy behind you, and I mean you're gonna have that when the corner speeds are so high, and a lot of that, like I said, it's cool track conditions, and so corner speeds are gonna be higher. Um, if we really look back on it, I watched some highlights from last year's Vegas race. Um, and it really was kind of similar. Obviously, we had tire issues and, more natural attrition last year, but, because it was what, race 3 with the new car. but it kind of was a similar race to what we saw last year today. And it was basically the same track temp, same type of weather conditions, mid to high 50s. And it's just, that's what's going to happen. It's a mile and a half, and it's, we don't have a ton of tire deg. Which is something that apparently they're working on and that needs to be worked on.
Yep.
So yeah, I still, as boring as it maybe seemed from face value, I had fun with this race.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of fun to be had if you're just if you're interested in watching a race. There was plenty of fun to be had. If you're here for
exactly
insanity every week, well, guess what? You're not going to get it every single week. You're going to be disappointed occasionally.
That was something actually that I do want to give a shout out to Danica Patrick, because I noticed her a couple times. Actually, cameras weren't on it, but she would call out a battle that was happening mid pack or whatever, and I was like, that's what we need, because I mean, we don't need to watch William Byron. He's out front. He drives the Raptor car. It's ugly and white. Like, I mean, we don't need to watch it for 100 and however many laps he's out front. And we did get to see some of those battles that were taking place that kind of showcased that, it wasn't as much of a just absolute, stink fest that William Byron was making it out to be.
Yeah. Even then, it's kind of like Danica helped that along for sure, because I feel like Fox would have definitely just watched Larson and Byron 3 seconds ahead, 3 to 6 seconds ahead of the field. It's kind of like, it seemed like they took some production notes from Formula One, because if they just watched Max Verstappen up 10, 12, 15, 30 seconds every race, there wouldn't be anything to do. They always watch the midfield battles, and that's what we did today. It was which was a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah. I did think Larson was better at the end of the race than William Byron was, because you noticed towards the end of stage 1 and then really at the end of stage 2, he was right there on William. I mean, he had run him down. Kyle had a good long run car, and once he got out front, I mean, he flexed his muscle.
He did. That gap had closed a lot by the time that caution came out, but Byron wasn't going to get there.
No, he wasn't going to get there. I think Kyle was maybe
probably babying it a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, it was every end of every run, Kyle was there with William. Yeah, I mean, the last caution there, I mean, that kind of, we knew it was coming. Maybe we didn't, but I mean,
I knew it was coming.
It was predictable.
I knew it was coming, and I started doing that thing. You know when you're watching the end of a race where you're looking forward to the winner, and you start doing the thinking. You're like, man, this is gonna be great, and then you go, wait a minute, no, get that out of here, and then it keeps creeping back in, and then the caution comes out.
Yeah.
Always like that.
Eric Almirola is useless. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I mean,
he was very useful to William Byron today.
Hey, yeah. I mean, why did he come back? Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand why he did, but it's frustrating. I mean, we saw him in the 500. He wrecked Travis Pastrana on the last lap for nothing to do. And then he's so desperate to pass Cody Ware for, nothing.
Yeah.
That he wrecks himself and causes a caution. And that shit just drives me up the wall, regardless of who it is. And especially when it's someone like Eric Almirola, who it seems like he always does some dumb shit like this. Like, in Eric Almirola, he's either running back half of the top 20 or he's causing a caution for nothing to do. So, I mean, it's just frustrating. Like, that shit shouldn't happen, but it did.
It happens just far too often too. It's like, these are supposed to be the best of the best, allegedly, and they bin it in the last 10 laps just all the time for nothing. I'm like, I get having a mechanical problem or a tire problem or something like that, but how did we do this? Like, what is the goal here? Where was he running? 20th? What is the goal of trying
Yeah.
to get by Cody Ware at the end of the race? I don't understand it.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah, like I said, Eric Almirola is useless. Yeah, I mean, now this does also set up something that also grinds my gears. Why the hell, if you're back after the top 15, did you not stay out?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I will never understand that. It all stems back to Phoenix 2019. You couldn't pass worth of shit. Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson had to win the race to make the Final Four. Neither one of them stayed out. They all followed the leader. And as Larry Mack says, if you're going to follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader. Yep. And that's what everyone did. Martin Truex stayed out, obviously. Most of the field, took notes out of last year and took 2 tires. That's what won Alex Bowman the race. And everybody did it again. Kyle Larson didn't have a great stop, didn't have a bad stop, didn't have a great stop. And, obviously you're not on the front row on the restart. You're probably not going to really have a great shot, especially with a guy with old tires in front of you.
Yeah. I wonder if he should have, because I was thinking about this coming to the choose line. I was wondering maybe it would have been better to line up behind Byron, push him by, and then try and have a race between the two of them.
I thought that too. I didn't know if Larson thought, well, that's the thing. What really screwed him up is you saw Bowman kind of lay back on the start to kind of get jump on Kyle, and it worked.
Which I'm pretty sure NASCAR said in the drivers' meeting they were not supposed to do.
He didn't lay back a ton though. It was maybe like half a car length.
Yeah,
I feel like you could kind of get away with that, especially since Kyle was tight to the 19 too.
Yeah, but that's what they wanted. That's what NASCAR wanted. Tight.
I don't know. I feel like that's not. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't feel like I saw William Byron today. He had a car length on Kyle before they even exited the restart zone, and I thought that was way more egregious than any car I saw laying back, because I saw a couple guys laying back, but it wasn't, like I said, it was never more than half a car length or so, and.
I'm not necessarily trying to get on Alex specifically. Yeah. It's not like he was the only guy to even try it today, but it's one of those things, because we've had a lot of instances like this where NASCAR is like tells them to do something, and then we just live in this gray area. Nobody knows where the line is.
No.
And then someone finally gets nabbed for it, and then we're like, okay, that was the line, really, the whole time?
I'm not a fan of this new restart zone.
No,
I don't like it. I mean, I know we talk about restarts being, gimmicky all the time, but it just made him the leader almost seems like they have too much of an advantage. Because one restart today where Larson stayed kind of close to Byron. Other than that, Byron was gone by the time, we got even to the start finish line.
Of course, historically at Las Vegas, being on the bottom, as long as the tires are equal, has been the preferred line on a restart. Like, you're more than likely going to be able to hold on from the bottom.
But you see Ross Chastain, he pushed Denny Hamlin into turn 1 until he saw Elvis. He was sending him.
Yeah, Ross made another. There was a different time where Ross he tried to send it. Like,
he put I don't remember that, but no, he really cost himself and Denny, because they were third, they were 4th and 6th, and they ended up like 12th and 13th.
Yeah, something like that.
He really screwed him up. And then we didn't get to see the 4-wide battle off of turn 4 because we had to watch William Byron 7 car lengths ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, we heard about it, but we didn't get to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was wild. Byron had it 1 off of turn 2. Clint Boyer was, I don't know what the hell he was looking at. They were going down the backstretch, coming to the checkered, and he was like, Bowman's still got a shot. I'm like, Bowman's 3/4 of a second back and side by side with Kyle Larson. I don't know what what. And then Kyle Larson sent it into turn 3 and about put the 48 in the wall. So that was real cool.
Well, he should have been lagging back on the restart.
Well,